Hi again everyone, Scout Pirate Pop Cult fan here, and in this video, I just came home not too long ago from seeing A Quiet Place Day 1. I saw it with my buddy Sean, and I want to go ahead and give my thoughts on this movie. Now, I did, as me and Sean usually do when we see a movie, we always do a review for him, for his channel, and then I like to come home and then do my own review of the movie as well. So that's what I'm going to do. So yes, A Quiet Place Day 1 follows Lupita Nyong'o, and she has this I'm not really sure what kind of illness it is, but it has some, I think it's some kind of infection in her leg or something, from the impression I got throughout from watching the movie throughout. That's all I'm gonna say about that, but it just seemed like she had some kind of I don't know, I think it was like some kind of infection or something in her leg. Which fascinated me because we're following a character who generally walks quietly anyway because of her condition, and it plays really well into the plot of this movie because this is essentially an apocalyptic survival film, and I think that's very fascinating. I think in regards to the alien creatures, like they don't I apologize for saying that word too much. I seem to say the word like a lot. Apologize for that. But yeah, so I do think that we haven't, even with this new film being a prequel, the movie doesn't delve into the backstory of the aliens at all, except for one scene where they do something that's a little bit interesting compared to what they always do, killing people that make noise. So that's all I'm going to say about that. No spoilers. But yeah, and also we follow another character in this movie, Joseph Quinn, who some people might recognize as the character of Eddie from season 4 of Stranger Things. And he looks completely different in this movie. He looks older too. And I liked his character, and I liked their relationship throughout the film between Sam, that's her name, Lupita Nyong'o. Her character's name is Sam, and interestingly enough, her cat is named Frodo. Sam and Frodo, Lord of the Rings. Interesting little Easter egg there. Yeah, and I can't. Oh, I think it was Eric. I think his name was Eric. Joseph Quinn, and I like the both of them and how they're traversing through what's essentially a ruined New York after the day that the entire city had, as well as throughout the world, because this alien invasion happened not just in New York but in other places, which is essentially like set up to what will eventually be a post-apocalyptic world with all these aliens roaming around Earth, killing people that make noise, which is where the events of the previous two movies go. And I just really think that's very fascinating, seeing this different kind of story and tone, while at the same time still having the same amount of emotional weight with the characters, because that's where this movie's strengths are. It's with the characters. There's a lot of really great moments that really create the scenes without any dialogue, and I think that's perfect. This is another example of a movie franchise similar to the Planet X reboot films, where not much needs to be said for an actor to really portray the emotional weight of what's going on in front of them, and you don't need dialogue for that. And I think this movie does that perfectly. And the sound editing too, like with every single step you make, with every single breath, almost every single breath you take, you gotta be so quiet. It is like, if you want to survive, just don't do anything. just don't do anything. And this is really fascinating. And also the scene stealer, the cat Frodo, oh my goodness, it was such a cute cat, and it was such a sweet cat too. I was so glad that it that the cat had such a big role in the film. That's all I'm gonna say. And I just loved seeing the cat. It provided levity, especially with Lupita Nyong'o and Joseph Quinn's characters, and that's part of what made me really adore this movie so much, because of the cats. Because I love cats, I love dogs, I love cats, I love all animals really, and yeah, and the score too. Like, you don't get a whole lot of a score in certain parts of a movie when it's really silent, but when you do, it's beautiful. There's some really beautiful moments in this film too, in regards to all the stuff going on. There's some really beautiful shots, so this movie was shot beautifully, and I like how handholdy the camera was in relation to the characters moving around throughout the city. And I thought that was also a really interesting camera work there, that really just made you feel like you were right there in the moment with the characters. And yeah, I really like this movie. I definitely think that it's pretty close to the previous two movies in regards to quality. I definitely think that I think the first film is still the best. Like, out of these three movies, I still think the first film is the best. And then I'm not sure, because right now The Quiet Place Part 2 and Day 1 are neck and neck for me. It's a tie. I don't know which one to place over the other. I don't know right as of now. I love all these movies, but yeah, if I had to pick a favorite out of all three of these, it would be the first film that came out back in 2018. And yeah, those are all my thoughts about A Quiet Place Day 1. I really think that this is definitely a movie worth seeing in theaters. This is a theater experience to watch on a big screen with a big audience, by the way, because, like I said, the sound editing and how it builds up the tension and the emotional weight of what's going on, that's what really gravitates the viewer, because it's putting you on the edge of your seat, and that's what you want for a theater experience. That's why this movie needs to be seen in a theater experience, just like the previous two movies. And yeah, this movie is an easy A for me. That is my grade, an A. And those are all my thoughts about A Quiet Place Day 1, and I love this movie. And yeah, you guys will see me again very soon over on Sean's channel, Cash Vault, as I also give my thoughts on the movie with him. And yeah, so I'll see you guys next time. Take care and peace.